Angel Reese thought she was making a bold statement. She looked into the camera, spoke with confidence, and declared that if WNBA players did not get paid what they deserve, they would sit out or go on strike. She wanted the world to take her seriously. She wanted to sound powerful. Instead, she sounded completely out of touch with reality.
Angel Reese says WNBA players could go on strike over salary and benefits.
The backlash was immediate. Fans, analysts, and business experts all had the same reaction. How can WNBA players demand more money when the league itself is losing millions every year? The WNBA is not the NBA. It does not bring in billions of dollars, it barely stays afloat, and the only reason it still exists is because the NBA keeps funding it. But no one shut down Reese's argument harder than Patrick Bet-David. He did not just disagree with her. He completely dismantled her entire argument with facts, logic, and brutal honesty. He exposed the financial truth behind the WNBA. He explained why the league is struggling, why a strike would be a disaster, and why every WNBA player should be praying that Caitlin Clark stays healthy. Once you hear Patrick's response, you will never look at Angel Reese's demands the same way again. Angel Reese has never been afraid to speak her mind. She enjoys the spotlight and she knows how to grab headlines. This time, she took things too far. During a recent conversation, Reese suggested that WNBA players might go on strike if they did not get the pay raise they wanted. She said it with confidence, acting as if the league was in a position to make demands. She truly believed that if WNBA players refused to play, it would force the league to pay them more. The problem with her statement is simple. WNBA players are in no position to strike. The league does not make enough money to support higher salaries. In fact, it barely makes enough to survive. Unlike the NBA, which generates billions in revenue, the WNBA is actually losing money every single year. Reese, a rookie who is still adjusting to professional basketball, was acting like she speaks for the entire league. She was making demands without understanding the reality of the WNBA's financial situation.
Single one of you WNBA players, you better pray that Caitlin Clark doesn't get injured.
Even more shocking is that she made these comments while struggling to prove herself on the court. Reese is not a top scorer, she is not a dominant force in the league, she is still working on basic basketball fundamentals like finishing layups. Yet here she was, acting as if she was the leader of a powerful movement. Her comments were not just bold, they were completely unrealistic, and as soon as she said them, the reaction was brutal. Patrick Bet-David could not believe what he was hearing. He immediately pointed out how ridiculous her statement was. He explained why a league that is losing millions cannot give out raises. He exposed the financial truth that Reese and other WNBA players seem to ignore. Her strike threat was supposed to make her sound strong. Instead, it made her look clueless. Patrick Bet-David listened to Angel Reese's strike threat and could not believe what he was hearing. He did not just disagree with her, he explained why her argument made no sense at all. He broke it down in simple terms using facts that completely destroyed her point. The first thing he pointed out was that the WNBA is not a profitable league. It is not making money, it is actually losing millions of dollars every year. That is not an opinion, that is a financial fact. In the real world, when a business is losing money, employees do not get raises. They do not threaten to stop working. If anything, they worry about losing their jobs. Yet here was Angel Reese, a rookie who has barely been in the league, acting like she and other players have the power to demand more money.
Contract again. The ones that the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us. No, they are.
Who's that?
They are. Like, yeah.
Patrick explained that major sports leagues like the NBA, NFL, and MLB have had player strikes in the past. The difference is that those leagues were making billions of dollars before players walked out. The NBA brings in over $11 billion per year, the NFL generates $17 billion. Major League Baseball also pulls in over $11 billion annually. The WNBA, on the other hand, barely makes $150 million and still loses money. Patrick laughed at the idea that a failing business could afford to give out raises. He made it clear that if WNBA players actually went on strike, it would not hurt the league. If anything, it might save the league money because they would not have to pay salaries. The most powerful statement he made was when he said that every WNBA player should be praying Caitlin Clark stays healthy because she is keeping the league afloat. That statement was harsh, but it was true. Caitlin Clark has brought more attention to the WNBA than any player in history. Her games sell out arenas. Her jersey is the best-selling in the league. She has brought millions of new fans to women's basketball. She is the only reason the WNBA is experiencing growth right now. If she were not in the league, there would not even be a discussion about higher salaries because the league would be in even worse financial shape. Angel Reese thought she was making a strong demand. Instead, she just exposed how little she understands about business and the reality of her own league. Angel Reese has been very vocal about how little she gets paid in the WNBA. She has gone on social media to complain that her salary does not even cover her rent in Chicago. She has made it seem like she is struggling financially and that the league is not paying players enough to survive.
Missing shots. She's got to be the worst shooter you've met in your life. But go, Rob, just go.
Great
Give this
rebounder
feedback.
thing.
Give this feedback here. Go.
Her salary as a rookie is $74,000 per year. Over the course of her 4-year contract, she will make a total of $324,000. To the average person, $74,000 is a solid salary. It is more than what many teachers, nurses, and first responders make. However, in professional sports, it is a small amount compared to NBA salaries. That is why Reese believes WNBA players should be making more. The problem with her argument is that Angel Reese is not struggling for money. She is one of the highest-paid female athletes off the court. In college, she made over $1.8 million from name, image, and likeness deals. She has sponsorships with Reebok, PlayStation, McDonald's, and Coach. She continues to make hundreds of thousands of dollars per year from endorsements. Patrick Bet-David called her out immediately. She is acting like the WNBA is failing her financially, but in reality, she makes far more money than most WNBA players ever will. Her social media presence and personal brand bring in more money than her basketball contract. Her argument also falls apart when you realize that Caitlin Clark makes the exact same salary. The most popular player in women's basketball is also making $74,000 this season. The difference is that Caitlin Clark is actually growing the league, setting records and bringing in millions of fans. Reese's financial complaints are not about survival. They are about wanting more money without actually bringing more value to the league. Patrick's reaction was simple. If you want more money, prove that you deserve it. The WNBA is not like the NBA. It is not a billion-dollar business. It is not profitable. For more than 25 years, the league has been losing money. Every single year, the WNBA relies on the NBA to keep it alive. Without NBA funding, the WNBA would not even exist today. Patrick Bet-David explained that the NBA, NFL, and MLB generate billions in revenue. That is why their players have the power to demand more money. The WNBA is in a completely different situation. It barely makes $150 million in total revenue and still loses money. The league is not growing fast enough to cover its costs, and the only reason it is still around is that the NBA keeps funding it. When NBA and NFL players went on strike, they were fighting for a bigger share of a billion-dollar industry. When Angel Reese talks about a strike, she is asking for more money from a business that is already failing. Patrick explained that if a business loses money every year, workers do not get raises. If WNBA players actually go on strike, the NBA might stop funding them. If the NBA stops funding the WNBA, the league collapses. This is why Angel Reese's statement was so out of touch with reality. She is demanding higher pay in a league that does not even have enough money to cover its current expenses. That is not how business works.
Teaching Angel Reese to make a layup is like teaching an old dog a new trick. It ain't gonna work! Burn!
Hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you?
Have the Angel Reese mix.
The most ironic part of this entire situation is that the only reason the WNBA is experiencing growth right now is Caitlin Clark. Her games have the highest attendance, her jersey sales are through the roof, her presence in the league has increased viewership by millions. If Angel Reese and other players really want more money, they should be thanking Caitlin Clark, not threatening to strike. Patrick Bet-David exposed the harsh truth. If WNBA players go on strike, nobody will care. The NBA might even be relieved because it would save them money. Angel Reese thought she was making a bold demand. Instead, she just proved how little she understands business, money, and her own league's survival. Caitlin Clark is not just another rookie in the WNBA. She is the biggest reason the league is growing. Before she arrived, WNBA games struggled to sell tickets, television ratings were low, and most people were not paying attention. Now everything has changed. Clark's games sell out arenas everywhere she plays. Fans travel across the country just to see her in person. Her jersey became the best-selling WNBA jersey in history within weeks. Television networks that once ignored women's basketball are now featuring Clark in primetime slots because they know millions will tune in. Angel Reese may talk about WNBA players deserving more money, but the truth is only one player is actually bringing in the money. Caitlin Clark is not complaining about her salary. She is not threatening to sit out. She is showing up, breaking records, and making the WNBA more profitable. This is exactly what Patrick Bet-David was talking about when he said WNBA players should be praying Caitlin Clark stays healthy. If Clark were not in the league, ticket sales would drop, ratings would sink, and all the extra attention the WNBA is getting would disappear. Angel Reese does not want to admit it, but Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA even has a chance to make more money. The entire league is benefiting from her success. The best thing WNBA players can do is embrace Clark's impact and help grow the league. Instead, players like Reese are making demands without understanding how the business works.
Pay my bills at all. I don't even think they pay one of my bills. Reese's financial struggles stem from WNBA salary not matching her past earnings, as her NIL valuation at LSU was $1.8 million, bolstered by...
The reality is simple. The WNBA is not profitable, and it will not become profitable unless Caitlin Clark's influence continues to bring in new fans and sponsors. Reese and other WNBA players can either appreciate Clark for changing the game, or they can continue to be bitter while she carries the league on her back. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.